going to look at another autopile here. In this case, the autopile is going to resolve around King's Court and Develop. You are going to need some helpers with King's Court and Develop. You're going to need some 5-cost draw card. These are pretty common, but it's going to need to be something that says +2 cards on it. You're going to have to be able to produce a hand size of at least 6. So maybe some of the draw to X's will work okay too for that. In any case, along with these 3 things, you are going to need at least 1 4-cost in the kingdom. In this case, I've brought along Potion for the Ride with Philosopher's Stone, but we have Tiara too. And we're gonna go ahead and go from there. I've used a little bit of the kingdom to start out, but these are really the only 3 requirements, along with some 4-cost. And to start it out, what you're going to need is you're going to need to produce a hand that has 2 King's Courts, a Develop, 1 gold. It could actually be any 6-cost, but in this case, gold's always around. Whatever 5-cost, whatever 4-cost, and then in this case, maybe we can pretend this is a lab, but really to kick it off, you actually need really any draw card. It doesn't have to necessarily be your 5-cost one. And what this is going to look like is that I'm going to King, of course. This is usually how you start out kings, and then specifically the 6-cost, this 4-cost, and this 5-cost make it so that you can basically replace everything. So when we King's Court this Develop, we're going to start with the gold. What the gold can get you is it can get you a King's Court, and it can get you your 5-cost draw card, in this case Laboratory. We're going to develop the 4-cost. 4-cost gets you Develop back, and we were talking about capital, but just to emphasize, it can be duchy. We're gonna say duchy, and this gets you your 5-cost to Develop back, and then you develop your 5-cost, and this is going to get you your 4-cost Potion and your 6-cost gold back. And then if you have at least +2 cards or the ability to draw up to 6 somehow, we can go ahead and king that. And you can see that we get back to this nice 6-card hand, and we have a King's Court play left over from the start. And so, we can repeat this, and it's going to go King's Court, Develop, 4-cost into Develop and 5-cost draw card, gold into King's Court and random 5-cost, and then 5-cost into gold, 6-cost, and 4-cost. Again, draw back up. And this can actually just keep repeating. In this case, I'm not going to play it to the end because it's way too much clicking. But in any case, this is one that is going to pile things, assuming there's enough things left to pile. In reality, King's Court might get a little bit low to start out with, and so clearly in most cases you're not going to have Donny the turn before. You're going to have some other cards around. But it is one that you do want to be ending the game on, because as soon as you get all this stuff together, piles are going to be super low. King's Court's going to be out, this is going to be low, this is going to be low. If your opponent gets a turn, probably bad things for you. And so you don't really want to be letting that happen. But in any case, this is going to, end the game for us. And, you need to be aware of it. It can score a little bit. Maybe you have some extra King's Court. You can maybe develop those into provinces for a little bit of extra scoring. Certainly you can have a duchy at the end of it as your 5-cost. Maybe if 5-cost draw card is gone at the end of it, you can have 2 duchies. In any case, you're going to end the game with this most of the time, and so you do want to score a little bit with it.